Hello, this one is actually for Lee, who was asked if I can explain the Taoist take on how to stop the need for reassurance, for seeking reassurance from other people. Well, first of all, that there are two, being really simplistic about it, two main aspects of the self. You have the front self, which is the part that sits everywhere forwards of your side seams, forwards of the ear holes. And you have the back self, which sits everywhere rear of there. Now, the front self is the part of you that is constructed from the time that you're born, according to the parameters of the collective story, as a personality. And in the same way that you developed your signature quite in a contrived sort of way until it becomes spontaneous and natural. It's the same with every aspect of your personality. The way you interact, the way you transact with the world around you is something that you've constructed over time. It's a work of art and a work in progress. Now, this part of you references itself to the external world. It references itself to society, to the herd. And therefore, it requires feedback from the herd. Like people like to parade, they need to parade. They dress up, with finery, and you walk around in the town square, and you get the admiring glances of strangers and so on and so forth. Everybody has that. It's an animal need. And just as with any external stimulus, whether it's like buying something or achieving something or experiencing something in the external world, the effects of it, the reassuring effect, is short-lived. It's momentary because you're not addressing the actual fundamental underlying issue, which is that this self that needs reassurance doesn't really exist. It is a construct. It's fictional, and it's a brilliant fiction. We are amazing storytellers. We really know how to do that brilliantly. The back self, the part of us that sits in the back, which is the witness bearer, that part of us that has been here from probably even before we were in the womb and probably all the way after we leave this body, but the eternal self, the part of us that bears witness to the adventure unfolding from within, moment by moment, and is in a state of, it doesn't prefer one thing over another. It's not prejudiced about wanting this and fearing that. It just delights in the experience of being alive, no matter whether it's going through its yin difficult phase or its yang easy phase. It understands the flow of yin and yang. It knows that difficult turns to easy and easy to difficult. That there will always be the pretty much same quota of the yin to the yang, the difficult to the easy. No matter what you achieve, no matter who you're with, no matter what you buy, no matter what you get and do and what have you. It just is, and it sits and it loves being. And this is the true self. It's the part that's linked with the hunter-gatherer mind, the brain that sits in the back of the head, the true intelligence that is referenced to here and now. Whereas the forebrain is the realm of imagination. It's where we create stories based on the collective story to evaluate our position in the game as we perceive the game. And the part that sits in the back is not referenced to that. The part that sits in the back is reference to the source of all being. That moment when you took form in the womb and you embodied the primordial consciousness and energy that was there. This wasn't a creation of your mother's, and it wasn't a creation of yours. It was something that was there, primordial, a priori. That's the miracle. That is the Tao, if you want to call it anything, the presence. And that's what we come from, and that's what we're an expression of. And if that presence, this presence that informs the entirety of existence, sees fit to manifest itself as you or I, who are we to question that? And when you sit in the back of you, you don't question that. You don't need reassurance because you feel yourself as being an expression of the force, the source of everything. Now, the trick, and this really applies to every single issue that you could think about, every aspect of the human condition that's irksome. The trick to mastering it is to simply shift yourself out of the arena of the front of you. So stop trying to resolve things, stop trying to fix things, stop trying to make it better or change it, and instead just remove yourself from that whole affray and sit in the back of you, whence you bear witness to that phenomenon occurring in the front, so that when you notice, which you inevitably will, the front self needing a look, oh, I got a look from someone, oh, they looked at me, oh, they smiled at me, oh, I must still have it then. Or, they're looking at me admiringly, I must still have it then. Or, the converse, or they're looking at me like I'm an idiot and, falling down a drain of self criticism and so forth. I lost myself with all that. This part of you that sits in the front will experience that inevitably. But rather than you being identified with it, when you sit in the back, you're just observing it. When you're in the front, you're one with it. You're identified with it. You feel it. I need reassurance. I need reassurance. That's the drama. When you sit in the back, that drama's stopped. There's still the noise of the echo. I need reassurance. I need reassurance. But you are not involved with that. You're just observing it compassionately. Bless this being in the front that needs the reassurance. But you yourself don't need reassurance. And every time you do that, every time you shift back, you reclaim your power. And every time you reclaim your power, that noise all stops. And whatever needs resolving will resolve itself. The other side of it is that this building of a relationship with your true self, over time, it makes you realize that even if the front self looks like a complete goon in the eyes of others, so what? I mean, okay, so for that moment in the human story, you were the one playing the role of the goon. It happens to all of us, in our lives. It's an experience we are obliged to have to realize that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It all passes. What matters is that you know yourself as an expression of this source of this presence informing all existence, and one with agency to affect the way that that is informing existence, because you're one with it. And the principles that you wish to see guiding the story for everybody, say the principles of nobility and being honourable and kind and tolerant and wise, and whatever it is you want to see informing the world around you, you access those from within you, from the back of you, and you shine them through your heart as a gift to everybody. And you do this on some kind of regular basis. It does have an effect, slowly but surely. Butterflies flapping their wings and all of that. And the ringing of the bells now makes me think that I've said as much as I should or could in one go without overloading. So thank you for watching, and may you find this useful. I really do welcome your suggestions. Any topic that you wish me to share what I can about, I will be delighted to do so. That's it, and that's all. Thank you.